Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the table. I'm Rook, and I'm here to bring you another Yugioh Speed Duel deck profile. This is one that we haven't seen too often, and I actually just recently had a match video out on. I'm looking at the Masked Beast deck today, a deck that I picked up because I was, I wanted to play something else that was kind of a little different from the meta, and so I looked into this deck. Ritual decks are always kind of fun. It's nice to get those big boss monsters out, and this one worked out pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and profile this for you for anybody that wants to play these at home. Most of these cards are in the Battle City box with just a couple outliers, but we can go ahead and get started with the skill. This is the Umbra and Loomis skill. I don't know. You guys watch the anime? You guys remember these guys? Umbra and Loomis right here. This is the Spell of Mask skill. Spell of Mask skill works particularly with the Masked Beast and the Masked Beast Desgardius. So when you have a Masked Beast monster on the field, if it gets destroyed by a card effect, you can special summon a Masked Beast Desgardius from your hand, deck, or graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions, which is great because Desgardius has a bunch of weird effects that involve monsters required that we aren't running. So Desgardius is really only going to come out if Masked Beast gets destroyed by a card effect. Now, it is by a card effect, so if it gets destroyed by battle, that's unfortunate. You're not going to be able to activate this. And then the other effective Spell of Mask is if you have a Desgardius out, you contribute it to get a Masked Beast and Curse of Masked Beast, which is the ritual spell, back to your hand. So it gets you the pieces back, which is pretty cool. So Spell of Mask working really well with the Masked Beast and Desgardius. So let's talk about the Masked Beast that we're running. I have two copies of the Masked Beast here. Ritual Fiend here, just 3,200 attack. That's our boss monster, an 8-star ritual monster. It is also a dark monster. And we have one copy of the Masked Beast Desgardius. I was originally running two, but I found that I really just need to run one. So with the Masked Beast, that's your ritual monster that you're going to try and get out. And then you have the Masked Beast Desgardius, which, the Spell of Mask works really well with. The effect does not matter because we will be getting it out if the Masked Beast was destroyed by a card effect. And the reason why I only run one Desgardius is because the skill allows you to get it from hand, deck, or graveyard, and it can only be used once per duel. So it's not like I'm going to get this out more than once. So there's the one Desgardius there. Continuing with the monsters, we have two Ritual Raven. Ritual Raven, great addition from the Battle City box, and Ritual Raven is solid because it is a monster that can be used as the entire requirement when ritual summoning a dark monster. So typically the ritual for the Masked Beast requires you to find 8 levels to get into the graveyard in order to get your Masked Beast. Ritual Raven works around that. So Ritual Raven, if you're ritual summoning exactly one dark monster, this card can be used as the entire requirement. It's also pretty cute. So there's a Ritual Raven right there, great addition. Continuing on with the monsters, here we go. We're getting to a little bit of bread and butter, some common staples here. We have 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior. There's our back row removal. Solid 1900 attack monster, or 16 when you remove the counter. Breaker is something that I'm splashing in all my decks right now, and it works. It plays really well. All these monsters so far are dark monsters. Can you tell what's coming from a spell perspective? But we have 3 Breaker the Magical Warrior, which is just a solid staple and good back row removal. Last monster here is the 3 Sphere Karibo. Here is our defense. Also love running this in most of my decks. Best hand trap in the game right now. So Sphere Karibo, you drop it to the graveyard if you're being attacked, and that monster slides into defense position. So it's worked very well in this deck. Good defense, and also all of these are going to be good Allure Darkness targets. So moving on to spells. Here is the ritual card, the Curse of the Masked Beast. We're running 2 of these alongside the 2 Masked Beasts. Curse of the Masked Beast is used to ritual summon the Masked Beast. It says you must also tribute monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal 8 or more, but Ritual Raven allows us to get away with just using Ritual Raven, so that's great. So there's 2 Curse of the Masked Beast to complete 2 chances of drawing into this ritual here. Next spell is probably my favorite looking card in this deck, the Spaghetti, the Pre-Preparation of Rites. It's the Ritual Raven like pigging out on some spaghetti and like a whole feast while some dudes are snickering behind him. 2 pre-preps, that's going to help you get a piece of Curse the Masked Beast and the Masked Beast. So what it does is you can search your deck for up to 1 ritual spell card and 1 ritual monster card whose name is in the ritual spell. So this is going to get me 1 Curse the Masked Beast and 1 the Masked Beast. This is a great way, opening hand, if you have a pre-prep, you're going to be able to get a ritual pretty quickly. Now, the only thing about Pre-Preparation of Rites is that it requires you need to have 1 of each target in the deck. So if I have both Curse the Masked Beasts in my hand and I don't have any Masked Beasts, I cannot effectively Pre-Preparation of Rites for it because I would need to have a ritual spell in my deck as well. I can't just get 1 piece. So 2 Pre-Preparation of Rites. Moving on, 3 Book of Moon, also solid defense. Book of Moon, interchangeable. You can really kind of change this out with whatever you want to run. I like Book of Moon. This is actually a trapless deck, but you can run 3 Book of Moon. You can run, I don't know, Zoma's Nightmare Wheel, whatever kind of defense you want to run, Draining Shield, anything like that. Book of Moon's the only card that I'm going to set in the back row. but obviously interchangeable with a lot of other good kind of trap staples that stop attacks. With Book of Moon and Sphere Karibo, we have some solid defense there. And then the last card in this particular deck is, yes, 3 Allure of Darkness. Oh my gosh, all of these monsters are dark targets. Isn't that amazing? What is that? 11 dark targets. 11 monsters. That's that's quite a good amount. You could actually, this rounds out a 21 card deck, but you could actually drop it to 20 if you took out a Sphere Karibo. 20 to 21 cards with 3 Allure of Darkness there, you're always going to get what you're looking for. So even if you have a terrible hand where you're bricking with Mass Beasts and you really need the Ritual Raven, you need the Curse of the Mass Beast, Allure of Darkness is probably going to get you there. You'll pretty consistently find a dark target so that you can get your Ritual within like 1 or 2 turns. So this is the Mass Beast deck that I've been working on, and I find that it's been fun so far. I know it's a little different from some of the meta that we've seen. Obviously, ritual decks are not really something that's still happening in the meta, so it's definitely more of kind of a casual play on the kitchen table with friends. But it's different. It's a breath of fresh air. And it utilizes, I think all the cards here are from the Battle City box with the exception of Sphere Karibo and Allure of Darkness, which you can find in the Match of the Millennium and Twisted Nightmare starter decks. Or if you want to get flashy with the Ultra Rare Spheres, that's in the Arena of Lost Souls booster. So good luck, and I hope you guys enjoy building this deck and playing with it. If you guys like this video, please feel free to hit the like button. And of course, subscribe for more, as I have plenty more Speed Duel matches and deck profiles coming out to you. Thanks, guys. I'll catch you later.